What's up, y'all? This is your boy Gerald. It is the 2nd of May, 2014. What? 2018. What is going on? Yeah, I'm outside today. As you can see, look at his hair. Look at his hair. It's falling. It's already falling. Been out there cutting the grass, just doing what needs to be done. Gotta handle. Gotta handle. So yeah, I know. Look, I look a little crazy, but that's all right. I love my crown, and I got uh, less than 45 days, and the dreads come back. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Now, looking like I ate a box of Popeyes. Now, unless you have been under a rock, social media has had a round the clock Kanye West conversation based off of the comments he had he had shared with Charlemagne the God, and then when he made an appearance at TMZ. And unfortunately, because a lot of what he said was very disappointing, very disturbing. Um, you're seeing the blowback. But the one thing that I saw after the fact, like many of you, is it is very obvious he is yet to come to terms or mourn the loss of his mother. And if you look back through the years of how he was, late registration, college dropout, and then the transformation after his mom passed, two different people. But even yesterday, what I saw that was constant was a person deeply hurt, deeply traumatized, and is basically barely breathing, barely staying afloat. Because if you look at just what was being conveyed, the one thing that he got was the world stood still. The world took notice. Right now, there are people talking about what came out this man's mouth. But I saw something a little deeper, not even, I say 45 minutes ago. Because in a town near you, in a city near you, in a state near you, nationally, internationally, especially worldwide through the internet, the gauntlet has been dropped. And what I mean is, they've already said, oh, we built you up, now we're going to bring you down. And already, conversation on some of these panel shows has basically, in a subtle way, have put out the call to boycott this man's work, which means let's hit him in the pockets. Let's put the stamp on him and future endeavor. I think it's kind of contradictory, really hypocritical, because this has not been a policy that has been administered with other people, maybe those in the public circuit, those in those are that are on those false pedestals known as celebrity. You don't see nobody giving back any awards, do you? You don't see nobody saying, hey, look here, I'm going to stroke this check for all the earnings I've made. And here, why is that? It's a double standard. Now, I believe that is a message, and it could be just me. I believe, but I personally believe socially, the message has been put out for the intended ear, intended mind to follow the orders of don't support this. And economically crippling. Now, do not get what I'm saying misconstrued. I'm not taking a position to defend what he said. But what I do hear, no matter what the rhetoric that was coming out of this man's mouth, what I heard crystal clear was a man with a little boy still trapped inside that man's body of somebody help me. And the behaviors is no different than a young boy or a young child acting out. And what does a child do when the response is not of what they desire? They turn it up. They make it more intense. And until there's some intervention, we are literally watching a preemptive train wreck. And you always see after the fact when there's someone on the 6 o'clock news, after or before all the candles are all put out and people are huddled up together saying we didn't know. How could this have happened? If anything, this is the moment where you should actually check that circle. That's why it's so important, family. Whoever you have given access to your life, number one, know this: the greatest gift you can ever bestow a person is being present. Because you can't buy time. That is why man will never know how to master it. Man will never know how to master or be able to obtain forever. Why? Because man is not God. Far from it. But every day, some, the select few, are given the opportunity to start over, to reflect, to choose, and claim. Because that's why you woke up this morning. Now, granted, I'm a firm believer of sometimes it's not about running your mouth, but it's actually about being observant of what you see. And so when you see it again, that is what's required. And that is what's important to you, known as insight. And if you choose to learn from what is witnessed, that becomes your witness, your wisdom, excuse me. But yeah, it's kind of sad though, because you have a lot of people today that have everything they could ever dream about, but peace of mind. From the outside, they are Mr. and Mrs. Got It Going On. But behind closed doors, there's still that little boy and there's still a little girl, still that little girl that's lost. That all they want is to be validated. Some, all they need is just to be acknowledged. How about a hug? That's why it's so important, family, to tell the people that matter to you how much you do When's the last time you told that person that you loved them? You're not promised that you're going to see them tomorrow. So I thought it was kind of funny, though, figuratively, because already, and I know that they're going to bleed this all through social media, and they're going to be hoping that some of these big distributors are going to pull product and send it back. Same thing they did with Michael Vick. See millennials. Sometimes you got to do your homework to really understand what history is all about. Because really, history is the opportunity that God gives man, not to punish him, but to protect him. So when you see it, he's actually telling you in his own way, do you understand? Do you understand what I'm showing you? And it is your responsibility to receive it. You're not guaranteed you're going to see that opportunity again. But if it's divinely meant, you will. So it makes me wonder, because you see this story play out over and over and over again. You see somebody go to the mountaintop proverbially, make a choice, and fall from grace. How soon we forget that at one time they started off just like you and I. So I'm not going to turn around and condone what Kanye West did, because Kanye West got to live his life. Kanye West, his finances set. He ain't got to do nothing. He don't have to get up tomorrow to step out his door to deal with the daily challenges. He doesn't have to do that. But I'm pretty sure there'll be somebody, because I'm here to tell you, family, an opportunist does not need your help to expose themselves. What is required is that you have the courage to acknowledge what is being shown when it does. And yes, he did throw it out there. Well, my ego. And listen, some of the most broken people you'll ever come to know, no matter what they have acquired materialistically, they are delinquent emotionally. And that's why everything is over the top. But from a scientific or medical standpoint, oh, it is very easy to say, well, this man right here, he's schizophrenic. He's displaying sociopathic traits because everything is stair step. First, you hear people say, well, little Johnny suffered from ADHD. Then it goes to, well, really, Johnny was really bipolar. Then it goes from being bipolar to schizophrenic. Then you graduate to sociopathic. Ultimately, is nothing but an umbrella term known as narcissistic. But the common denominator with all four is that person did not know what love was, did not love themselves. did not have what was needed to understand their self value and worth because it was never shown. Now, let's keep this in mind. Not to make excuses, stating fact. Kanye West's father wasn't in his life. Kanye West's father and his mother split when Kanye was like 4 or 5 years old. And mom took on the responsibility of raising her son. Being an educator, took an opportunity and went to China to teach. That's why a lot of people don't realize that Kanye West speaks Chinese or Cantonese. He's a very intelligent man, but he's very delinquent too. Because the things that were needed to be a man possibly wasn't shown. Maybe he didn't have that person to, when he acted up, got a kick in the butt. Or when he was down, stand you up, dust you off, and let you know you are valued. And that is the problem we have in society today because there's a lot of Kanye West's walking around thinking that they have the key of fatherhood, but have not done everything that was needed to be deemed a man. So all we're doing is watching a child in desperate need up the ante until someone comes along, God forbid, to reset the balance. It kind of makes you wonder, though, and we don't know this because we don't live his life, but his circle, his direct family on his side. I'm pretty sure his phone probably blew up. You know, Kanye's not an orphan. He's got family. But what about his wife? Because the one thing we can truly agree upon, the one thing he wasn't doing, he wasn't thinking about his legacy. He wasn't thinking about the impact of his words and how that will have an effect on his children. Because if he did, I'm pretty sure he would have chose wisely. Right now, he don't get it, but I hope he does. And unfortunately, society has already gotten their little signs. And you're going to see them out there in a town near you, in a city near you, in a state near you. They're going to be protesting. They're going to be protesting. They got to get their voice heard. They got to be on the camera. They got to make sure that everybody sees their point of view. But yet, what you won't see, you need to see somebody walking around with a mirror and aim it to those same people. Because guess what? A lot of y'all do the same thing for less. Because a lot of you, still to this day, will not see how unique your life is, will not see your worth, and will make excuses just like he did. Which is sad. So now, what's getting ready to happen, and watch, is going to happen. The major media is going to get behind all this, and all they're going to do is pull a page out of one of the verses that legendary hip hop artist, icon, Ice Cube, back in the America's Most Wanted days. And when he said, here's what they think about you. Watch. But you can't buy yourself respect. And you can't protect it by acting out. Maybe now you'll finally understand what I've been echoing now almost 6 years. Do you know who you are? Because if you did, you would already know what is expected to protect your legacy. Something to think about. Peace.